Good morning, everyone. The next topic is micturition, that is, avoiding of urine. Okay, this is the last topic of renal system. Micturition is a urine formation is a continuous process. So, this continuously formed urine is stored in urinary bladder. So, urinary bladder, already in anatomy class you learned. So, urine will form continuously in the kidney. So, this continuously formed urine is stored in urinary bladder. Okay. So, micturition takes place as a spinal reflex. Spinal reflex means the impulses are arising from the spinal cord, and the mechanism is influenced by the higher centers. So, higher centers are present in the brain. Okay. Higher centers are in the brain. So this is a suppose this is a bladder. So it is connected like this, the urethra. So from the kidney, so the urine will come and collect in the bladder. Okay. So micturition is the periodic complete emptying of urinary bladder, which is normally under voluntary control in adults. Okay, so it is voluntary control in adults, but in small babies and infant it is involuntary control, because their spinal reflexes are not reflexes. It is a reflex phenomena, so that is not well developed in infants and small children. Okay. So when the urinary bladder, it is made of smooth muscles or detrosal muscle. So when it is relaxed, there is a filling state. Okay, filling of urinary bladder is taking place. So this is the internal sphincter. It is passively contracted. Okay, so the urine will not leak. Then there is the external sphincter, that is a skeletal muscle. Okay, so that means the bladder and internal sphincter is a smooth muscle. Okay, and the external sphincter is a skeletal muscle. So this is also contracted. Okay. So whenever there is a impulses will reach the from the spinal cord reach the afferent through afferent fibers to the bladder. So there is a contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder taking place. So that time, so this internal sphincters will be relaxed. So then the external sphincter will also relax and voiding of urine is taking place. So we in the urinary bladder there are three types of nerve supply. The innervation we can see. One is parasympathetic nerve, sympathetic nerve, and somatic nerve. The somatic nerve is supplied to the external sphincter. So because it is a skeletal muscle, so hence it is supplied by pudendal or somatic or pudendal nerve. Okay. So then sympathetic and parasympathetic through pelvic nerve. Okay, afferents are carried by pelvic nerve. So when the muscle is contracting, so this muscle, the bladder, when the bladder is contracting, the internal urethral sphincter get relaxed. Okay, the internal urethral sphincters get relaxed. So the urine will flow from bladder into the urethra. Okay, so from the bladder it will go to urethra. So because this one will relax, so that will open. So now At the same time, the somatic nerve which is supplying to the external sphincters is inhibited. Okay, so it is inhibited. So when it is always it is a contracted state. So when the somatic nerve inhibit the external sphincter, so this sphincter get relaxed. Okay, this sphincters get relaxed, so the urine will flow. So voiding of urine or micturition is taking place. So now coming to micturition reflex. So micturition reflex, it is initiated when the urine volume is sufficient to stretch the muscle. Okay, so that means, so if it is 10 ml or 20, 100 ml of urine is collected in the bladder, so that will not initiate the micturition process. Okay, so when a sufficient volume of urine, when the bladder become full, so that time, so that will stimulate the stretch muscle. So that stimulate the receptors. So the stretching of the muscle will takes place. Okay. So here we can see one mechanism, that when the intravesicular pressure of the bladder, when the volume of water or a urine collection is increases, the pressure in the bladder will not increases. So till there is till it become full, because the plasticity of the detrosal muscle and Laplace law. Okay. So because of the two reasons, one is the plasticity of detrosal muscle and another one is a Laplace law. So that is explained by a cystometrogram or cystometry. Okay. So this is the cystometry, is a study of pressure and volume relationship of bladder. Okay. Pressure and volume relationship of the bladder. Cystometrogram is the graph showing the pressure volume relationship of the bladder. So here we can see, so suppose this is the bladder, so the volume, so now 10 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml of water is filling. So but this bladder will inside the bladder, the pressure will not increase much. Okay, the pressure will not increase much. That is because of the two reasons. One is the adaptation of the urinary bladder to that volume, and another one is Laplace law. So this one explained by up to 50 to 150 ml. So up to 50 to 150 ml of urine is collected in the bladder. The pressure will be only 5 to 10 centimeter of water. So if you additional 200 to 300 ml of water urine is collected, but the pressure will not change. The pressure change will be very pressure changes will be very small or negligible. But beyond the 400 ml, the pressure inside the bladder will rises rapidly. So you can see in this diagram. So this is the intravesicular pressure or pressure in the bladder. Okay. So now, so you are adding 100 ml of urine. So 10 to 15 centimeter of water of the pressure will be increasing. So this is it is increasing. But if you are adding 200 to 300, suppose if it is linear, so it has to go like this. So your urge for micturition will start at 200 ml only, but that is nothing will happen because of the adaptation capacity of the bladder, detrosal muscle of the bladder, and Laplace law. 200, 300, the same pressure will be maintained. But beyond the 400 ml, so the pressure will increases and it will reach around 500, 600, it will be more, and at the pressure of the 40, so the urge for micturition increases and the pain sensation will taking place. Okay, So that is about the cystometrogram. So cystometrogram is the cystometrogram is the graphical representation of pressure and volume relationship in the bladder. So in the bladder, if the pressure, if the volume of 100 to 100 ml of volume of urine is collected in the bladder, the pressure increases only 10 to 15 centimeter of water. So if the volume increases of about 200 to 300 amount, but the pressure will not change, or it will be very small. But after that, if you go on increasing the urine collection in the bladder of about 400, 500, 600, so it will reach the the pressure increases rapidly and reach the 40 centimeter of water. So that time, so beyond that 600, 700, your voluntary control of urine will be voluntary control of micturition will be lost. Then the pain sensation will taking place. That is because of increase in pressure. So this is about the cystometrogram. The last one is a micturition reflex. So it is a reflex phenomena. Hence it is mainly controlled by the nervous system. Okay. So neurons, mainly the sympathetic, parasympathetic and pudendal nerve. So now the filling of the bladder with the urine, that will stretch the detrusor muscle or bladder. Okay. So when the stretching of the bladder cause reflex contraction of detrusor muscle, so afferents through a pelvic nerve reach the sacral segments of the spinal cord. The efferents are also through a pelvic nerve. So here both the afferents and efferents. So always afferents is going to the spinal cord or any organ, and efferents are coming from the spinal cord. So that means afferent carries the impulses towards the spinal cord. So afferents through a pelvic nerve go to spinal cord, and efferents through a pelvic nerve reach the bladder and cause a reflex contraction of detrusor muscle. So when there is a contraction of the detrusor muscle or a smooth muscles of the bladder, so what will happen? There is a relaxation of internal sphincters. Okay. Now suppose this is the bladder. Okay. So this is the external sphincter. So this is internal sphincters. Okay. So here this is the spinal cord. Okay. So now, so when the urine is collected here, so this detrusor muscles get contraction, stretching of the muscle is bladder is taking place. So that time, so afferents, so from the bladder, the afferents through the pelvic nerve is going to the spinal cord. Okay. So from the spinal cord it is going to the higher centers. So then it will send the efferents. So this is efferents through a pelvic nerve. So both this and this is a pelvic nerve. Okay. So it will reach the efferents will reach the bladder and cause a reflex contraction. So contraction is taking place. So contraction of the detrusor muscle, so that will cause a relaxation of this internal sphincter. So it is partially contracted, right? That get relax. Okay, that get relax. So now flow of urine to urethra. So it get relaxed. So the urine will flow to the urethra. So now that will stimulate the stretch receptors which is present here. So again the afferents through the pelvic nerve inhibit the pudendal nerve. So this is the external sphincters is there. So that is always contracted, and that means closed. So when the pelvic nerve, when the pudendal nerve get inhibited, so no need of writing this one. So when the pudendal nerve get inhibited, so there is a relaxation of external sphincter is taking place and the urine will flow out. So that is voiding of urine is taking place. So this is about the micturition reflex. So that's complete the renal system. So skin is the outermost covering on the body. It perform many function. So important functions, they will ask only the functions of the skin. So first one is a protection. So protection, it acts as a mechanical barrier between the subcutaneous tissue and surrounding environment. Okay, so because it is outer covering, so any effect on the internal the tissues or organs are present, so it will prevent the microorganism that is invading the body directly or contact to the organ directly, so it acts as a barrier. The second one is a sense organ. Sense, so it has a many types of receptors are present on the skin. Okay, that is called cutaneous receptor. So because of this receptor, so it helps to perceive the sensation like touch, pressure, pain and temperature. Okay, so that is one of the important functions. So otherwise, if the receptors are not present, so you will not feel any sensations. So the next one is thermoregulation. So thermo means the heat or temperature regulation. So in the temperature regulation, thermoregulation is the ability to transfer heat from one body to another body along the thermal gradient by various physiological and mechanisms. So here over the skin, the sweat glands are present. Okay, so alteration in the skin blood flow and opening of arteriovenous anastomosis as the situation demands will also take place during thermoregulation. So that means, it will control the thermoregulation because of the presence of sweat glands over the skin. Okay, by altering the skin blood flow, so there is a arteriovenous anastomosis is present. So both that will demand whenever there is a heat loss or heat gain by the body. That is one of the function. The excretory function, so some of the substances like salts and fatty substances get excreted through a skin. Okay, endocrine, exposure of the skin to the light ray or from the sun helps the production of vitamin D. So that is very important function of the skin, the synthesis of vitamin D. Okay, so other than that, there is a secretory functions like sweat get secreted from the sweat glands or sebaceous glands, so that will maintain the smooth texture of the skin. So that's complete the functions of skin. Thank you.